That's funny, that's really funny. Let me go to the other one. Right? And let's get this one. Here he is singing Casey and the Sunshine Band. Yeah, he stopped short of it. Anyway, folks, Sister Devi is here with us this morning. Jessica, and brother. I love this little guy. Where did you bring him from?
My house in New York.
All right.
He's been a part of my family since the kids were small.
Really? So he's been around all these years?
Yes.
He still sings well?
Yes, I leave him at the front door every Halloween, which today is Halloween.
And we're talking about Halloween this morning, and ghouls and goblins and Brother Annis from the Red Chariot Foundation. The Red Chariot Foundation has been roving the country. We're going to tell you a little bit more. Of course, you've got something lovely from our folks at Jabili Rawe here. What is this?
It's
what
called
is this?
Mukamaria. It's for here.
Mukamaria? For here?
Mm-hmm.
Well, why are you bringing it for me?
You're not going to have this one. This is really, really good. It works really well.
What does it do for the hair? Oh, it's a liquid.
It smells really, really good. It leaves a lasting scent. When you
It's
think
a
about
nice
it's good for beard and different things as well. And,
does it help with grey hair and that sort of thing?
I believe so, yes, yes.
Mm.
So, a rare product. It's from Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Saudi Arabians tend to have very black hair, I noticed that.
Beautiful hair, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So this is something you can get at Jabali Rawi, 140 Eastern Main Road in Tunapuna.
Arabian women, of course, are some of the most beautiful women in the world as well, no doubt. All right. So, okay. Halloween. Where did Halloween originate? I mean, where did the whole tradition of Halloween and ghouls and goblins and pumpkins and dead souls and all that sort of thing start?
Good question. It started a long time ago, but it's Halloween from the word hollow, from the hollows. So, you know, all these goblins and so on. And then tomorrow is All Saints Day or All Souls Day.
Right.
And it's a very big event in Mexico where they believe good souls and bad souls will come out of the graves. So it's a celebration, it's a carnival, you know, where voodoo and obia and all these type of things. And it's not something great, not something we should celebrate, because it's celebrating all the negativities and all the spirits and demons. But you said those were like jinn. The word J-I-N-N, the Muslim calls it jinns. The Muslim believe it's good and bad spirit, but have you heard of genie in a bottle?
Yes.
Right.
I used to look at the movie too, I dream of Genie.
Right,
The
I love that
series.
movie, yes.
Yeah.
That series, yes. When you have a gin in a bottle, you know, a genie in a bottle, it's like somebody throwing a bad spirit into the ocean. You have to put the cork on the bottle and throw it out. And they always say never open the bottle because a bad genie will come out and give you a wish. But then the genie will own you.
So that's the essence behind it.
Behind the gin. It's a spirit in a bottle.
So it's linked to black magic, is it?
Correct.
Okay, all right. I didn't know that.
So anytime you see a bottle, you know, don't open it. Just throw it back into the ocean. Don't, it's not a good thing.
Now, tonight is the night, I think my mom is going to be lighting tonight. Tonight is All Saints Day. The Catholic, it's tomorrow, All Saints.
Right.
And then the following day is for the Catholics, All Souls Day.
All Souls.
All right, All Saints Day. Let's take a look at that, because this is a time when we recognize our loved ones. I've got my grandmother's body, and my grandfather, as well as my uncle, is buried in Paradise Cemetery, Broadway, that Broadway Cemetery there. And of course, we would normally go to light our candles on the graves. That, of course, is recognition of the dead soul.
It is. And again, it's like Pitri Paksh. Recently, the Hindus are celebrating Pitri Paksh by taking out food and so on. And now the Christians and Catholics, they are also remembering their loved ones. All Saints Day is remembering all Saint Germain, Saint Michael, and all the great saints that passed through this earth. And they made a difference.
Yes.
You know? And then we have All Souls for all the souls. You know, growing up, I would go up to San Juan, to the cemetery, and light candles for people that should. You know, I didn't even know, because it was just a tradition.
Is this a time when the souls are roaming?
Yes. It is a time when the souls are coming out. And
Do you sense that?
I know, yeah, but truthfully, it's Pitri Paksh is the time when all souls come down.
Really?
Pitri Paksh, because that level where they drop, you cannot, it's amazing for me to see.
Yeah.
Because I see it just like that. And it's really an amazing time. But for them to celebrate, it must be an auspicious day. And they're coming like
I-
all
I-
the first of November.
I will tell you something. On Diwali night, and every Diwali night, obviously we light our diyas at home, but my father would light for my grandfather, Aduda Sama, and we would light that diya from 6
Yeah.
p.m. From 6 p.m. as the sun is going, as the sun goes down, 6 p.m. we all shower and everything, and we have to do our prayers, and from 6 p.m. we light that diya. My grandfather's diya, this is no kidding, I kid you not, burned this year, as it has always done, from 6 p.m. to 1 p.m. the following day.
Exactly. So one every Christmas
14 to 15, almost 24 hours. Well, not almost 24 hours it was burned. For up to 7. Have you ever seen a deer last over 12 hours?
Without putting like
Without putting oil
or
or
ghee?
anything in it.
It's
I kid
only
you
a
not.
good soul, a great soul. Again, that will be a saintly soul
Yeah,
that will cause something like that to happen.
yeah.
Because that soul is trying to tell you and your family something. This deer can light, that is the deer lighting within you.
Wow.
And it's just a sign of a great soul.
Yes.
Into the heavenly regions. Souls like that don't normally come down.
And this year was the longest I saw it burn
Quite
because it
interesting.
went straight from 6 p.m. Diwali day to 1 in the afternoon
But,
the following day.
but you felt a difference, you felt a
Of course, yeah,
vibration,
at
you
all
felt-
times, at all times.
Exactly, because it's a divine soul. You remember
Yeah.
I said before, it was that soul that brought us together.
Yeah, yeah,
This is not something I did or RT or Ritu did.
yeah,
This is something your grandfather did.
Yeah.
Through Ritu and RT.
yes. Well, they were very close. Their grandmother, Ritu's and RT's grandmother, was very close to my grandfather. She stayed on the estate where he lived, and she was a Maharaj. What they call her was a Maharajin. And so they did a lot of prayers and things together. People used to worship a lot, regardless of Christian, Hindu. People long time, as neighbors, worshipping together was a critical part of their life. You realize that?
True.
Even my deceased maternal grandmother, Mrs. Katie Bickram, everybody there in San Fernando, part of our daily life was every Sunday, well, for the Christians now, was that everybody, all the neighbors would get together.
That's right. That's what I remember growing up in San too.
Yeah,
We don't remember. I went to mosque, in San Juan Mosque. I used to go to church.
yeah.
I went to temple. I went to everything. That's how it used to be.
That's what impressed Bishop Desmond Tutu, who is another great soul.
Yes, yes.
Bishop Desmond Tutu was impressed by that with Trinidad and Tobago, and he sent us a message that I don't think we've quite embraced. But yes, and it brought the communities together, which we're trying to do again in Trinidad and Tobago, so that we could correct the ills in the society. People have got to do more together.
I totally agree with you.
Which reminds me, Mbakadere is holding this weekend 2 special events from 6 a.m. They've got a sports day that's being held on the Mbakadere compound. Now, Mbakadere in San Fernando is what is considered to be a scheme area, what we refer to as a scheme housing development in those days. But it's been there since I was a child. And I used to go there with my bicycle, and I made most of my friends, the majority of my friends, were from Mbakadere. And every Christmas, as we're coming into the season, me and those boys, I would gather my friends to paint and help to clean my grandmother's yard. And they would come in and we would paint together, and then we'd go play football on that River College grounds. And that was a level of harmony. And we're talking about a community that, by Trinidad and Tobago definition, would be what one would want to refer to as a depressed community. And people have been talking about how dangerous it is. And I could still walk through there any time of day or night to go visit my friend. And that's the communities that we have.
Yeah.
But anyway, not to run away with it. But when we burn a candle for the souls, do the souls appreciate that?
Of
Do the
course.
dead appreciate that? When
Yes, but remember, like being a medium, you can communicate with souls. Now, again, Hansley, I don't ask for a name or a date of birth. The reason for that is when we cross, we don't have an identity, like we have an ID card, we need our date of birth, where we live.
Really, that
Yeah,
no
you
longer
don't
matters.
have, that is why I don't ask for anything. It's very easy for me to communicate. We are not religious, or always, that doesn't matter when we cross.
No,
religion or race, nothing like that.
I've seen in Dr. John Weiss's book, Brian Weiss, Weiss's book, Many Souls, Many Masters, that you actually, when you go from soul to soul, that you actually go into sometimes a different gender. So you're born into a different race, that you become, you know,
exactly.
that the soul really has nothing to do with the physicality. Amazing, isn't it?
Like a costume.
Yeah, it's really a costume. This is a costume that we wear.
Yeah, we can have different color cars and different style of cars, but then who's driving? It's the soul. You know, that's why I said before, for Diwali, the soul at the center of the forehead.
Right.
Because of the senses, all the senses are there. But again, not to deviate from the point of souls on the other side, and when they come through, it's just amazing. It's just so simple. They come through with so much love. And they tell us so many things that to guide us and help us. To me, that's why we need to communicate with our souls. Whether it's a Christian or Muslim or Hindu, it doesn't matter.
Because all the old cultures, when you look at the old African cultures, which is thousands of years old, and the old Apache cultures,
shamans
and the shamans, and all these shamans, they often focus heavily on spirits.
Exactly.
They speak of the spirits, which are the souls, am I correct?
Of course, the spirit of the animal spirit. They spoke of the land spirit. Remember, the Hindus believe in the deep puja.
Right.
And the spirit on the land. So yes, of course, the ancient again, Egyptians believed in it. You know, so why are we questioning it now?
But why do we burn things when we're dealing with the spirits? Because I've seen all these old, and again I have to go back to compare the old cultures, because I noticed the old Africans, the ancient African cultures, the ancient Indian cultures, and the Apache cultures, and what we were. Every time they refer to spirit, they burn something. Why is it necessary to burn something?
Quite interesting. Remember again in the Bible, they had frankincense, myrrh, and sage.
Yeah.
Is it? And then sage. And why we burn it is to cleanse all the energy. So we are only encouraging our good souls, our good family souls to come through. Bad energy, they cannot stand the smell of sage or mustard oil and black tail.
Really?
Yes, that is why the pundits will say, light a deer with mustard seed oil and black tail, the ward of evil entities. Because again, Halloween, you're bringing bad and good souls in. It's not just good souls are coming in. How do you know a bad soul or a good soul? How do you know if it's your relative that's coming in or a bad spirit that is coming in? How do you know? So you smoke out your house. That's why we have Loban and all these incenses and stuff. It's just to cleanse the property. Again, go back to Jabaliwawi and get that Bakur. Bakur is very, very important.
It works.
It works, and you can attest to it.
I could attest.
Right, so remember to call Jabaliwawi.
Yeah.
I can't see the
Yeah, we're
message.
telling about Jabaliwawi.
66377.
7477
Especially tonight, burn the Bakur, because these spirits are, like you said, ghouls and goblins and those things. They are coming through and passing up and down. So tonight, and this was a big thing in New York when my children were growing up, they would dress as different little things and would go all over the place. And it's because of the spirit, bad spirit. Angel spirits too. We had little kids dressed as angels.
We're going to open up the telephone lines in a moment, so get to your phone, 665-6278. But Brother Adil has got some pictures for us. Brother, where were you last?
We were Tuesday, we were in Brickfield, Waterloo.
Brickfield?
Yeah, Brickfield, Waterloo.
All right, I'm just getting a call from the director, just to take a quick break.
Sure.
When we come back, we go to Brickfield and Waterloo to find out what Brother Adil and Sister Devi did down there. And we'll take your calls for a couple readings. A sister is here with us as we talk about ghouls and goblins.